Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you're returning, welcome back. As many of you guys know, I moved into my new place this past August and I haven't made any videos since. This is me getting back to it. Today we're going to be doing Small Goddess Knotless Braids 3.0. This is one of the styles that I have on my booking site. This is then the number 3.0 means that it has the most curls, 2.0 less than that, 1.0 the least amount of curls. So I'm going to show you how to do the 3.0. And many of you guys say like, oh my gosh, your curls differ. Well, I have took it upon myself to count each curl that I use for the 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. So that in detailed, like how many curls I use for each braid, each one will be in my ebook that will drop in December. But for now, we're going to get right into the video. So the first thing I'm going to do always, this is the first part always, I'm going to part ear to ear, and the ear to ear line is about the same for every client. If you look at the eye level, it starts at about the eye level. And we're going to do that, and since we're doing small goddess knotless braids, we are going to have 9 rows in total, which means there will be 3 rows below the ear to ear line and 6 rows above the ear to ear line. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and start parting. I do brick parting where like the braids lay in between each other. This is also in my ebook. I go into more detail on head mapping, how to head map for small, medium, and large braids. Then I'll also show like have a map of like an average of how many braids I have per client, because each head is different, so you can't expect the same thing. But here I am going ahead and doing the first couple rows, and then I'm going to slow it down and teach you guys how to do a couple things. We're going to learn how to do the base, the knotless. We're also going to learn how to add curls, and we're also going to learn how to just add hair and extend like the braid. And if you look in the description, I've also put like the timestamps of when I do each one, because I did want to start off with the knotless braids, but going back and looking at footage, my shoulder is in the way, and I'm gonna get used to like recording like this and my shoulder will no longer be in the way. But that's what happened. Look at me. That's what happened in this video, and I'm gonna get better at like the angles and stuff, you know, getting back into it. But all I am doing is brick parting. This is the last and final row, and then we're gonna get into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with adding curls, since this is a curly hairstyle. And what you do is you grab the curl, you cut it off the weft of whatever bundles you've got, and then you add it to the right in the middlemost braid, and then you start braiding. And I'm going to do that a couple of times throughout this video. You guys can go back and slow it down. But basically you add the curl to the 2 rightmost strands of the braid, and then you continue braiding. It's just like you're adding hair. Now you braid all the way down until like you match the lengths of the other braids. As you can see, I'm checking the lengths, and this is how you add the ending curl. You do the same thing, except instead of taking the curl out eventually, you don't. You just continue braiding down, and then you're gonna seal with like a knot, and then you're gonna seal again with some glue. And when it comes to curls and how many curls you add for each braid, I did say that I do have that in the ebook, but for the 3.0, I have a range from like, I use from 2 to 4 curls in each braid. One thing I don't do is like, I won't do 3 each braid. I feel like messiness and like, I don't know, I love messy braids, and I feel like the less unison they are, the more messy they are, which is why like none of the curls lay at the exact same spot on the braid. I like to switch it up to give like, I don't know, it just adds like volume to it as well, so that you don't even have to use that many curls. But yeah, this is me going ahead and finishing this row, and then I'm going to show you guys how to part the top half. Okay, now that we've finished that row, we're going to go ahead and start with the top half, and this will have 6 rows. The first thing that you're going to do is part out your client's edges. I always ask my clients whether they do or don't want edges and if they want it light or not. And you can honestly see where their natural edges lay. I'm not a stylist to pull out your edges and cut them off. I just don't do that. I just feel like I shouldn't be cutting your hair. I don't know, you didn't come for that service. But yeah, pull out your client's hair, and then we're going to go ahead and start pre-parting. And what I like to do is make a part directly down the center, and then I like to divide those 2 sections into their own 2 sections so that there's 4 sections in total. And that way I have 3 rows above the line, 3 rows below. It just gives me a guideline onto what I'm doing when I'm, parting the hair. And after that, I use that middle part just to see like how clean and straight like my parts are. So it just helps when it comes to seeing the head as a whole. When you're dealing with a lot of hair, just like free balling it, you won't get to see like the layout of the hair. So it just helps keeping the hair out of the way. And then I'm going to go ahead and brick part. And when I do my brick part, see, I'm able to clean up here and there. I just cleaned up a piece because I saw that like the line wasn't as straight. You're able just to get a better viewpoint of what the hair looks like. And then I'm going ahead and brick parting, which means that the braids will lay in between the other braids. And that's what you see me doing here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this for row 2 and 3. And then we're going to talk about adding hair. Okay, so at this point, I made it to the top of her head, and we are like, I would say once I get this point, I'm probably like 3 hours done, like 3 hours to the finish line, or like 2 hours and 30 minutes. Because I still have to do the top, and then I have to cut off the ends, and then I have to like do her edges, and then I have to like finish like recording all the content. So we're about like 2 hours and 30 minutes to the finish line, and like I'm a little giddy, but I still know there's a long way to go. But yeah, this is me just braiding. Girl, I'm just braiding. Okay, so this is the angle where my shoulder was a little bit less in the way, and I think I just need to, if you have any tips on what angle I should be using, I think it's more up so that you can see what I'm doing exactly. But we're going to start off by making 3 sections, and then of those 3 sections, we're going to braid once, then we're going to braid twice, and then we're going to add a piece of hair once like the base is secure. I add 1 piece, I do a braid, I add another piece, I do a braid, then I add 1 more piece and I do a braid. This way, each leg has about the same hair. So I do it 3 times and then I switch to an over braid. You'll see my hands switching. And then I do an under braid just because it helps me grip the hair tight. And now I'm going to switch to an over braid. And then I'm just making sure that I move the hair out of the way because I'm also tucking because her hair is also black. And while I can't like completely remove the black, I'm going to try and get as much color to show as soon as I can just to make it like blend better. And that's me just adding hair. You add hair like you add curls to the back on the 2 rightmost legs. And you just continue braiding down. I might just pop a video on there on specifically how to do certain techniques so it doesn't take away from the video in itself. But yeah, so that's how you start off a knotless braid, how you add curls, how you finish with glue. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. I think I'm just gonna let the video go and you guys can just watch and you guys can love and learn, and then let me know what I can do better to make these videos better for y'all. What else do you guys need? Let me know. But all the details of like what hair I used, what color I used, how much I used, and then tips and tricks on how to complete this style, how many curls are in each braid, all the ins and outs will be on my ebook that by God's grace will drop December 1st. So be on the lookout for that. If you want to stay updated, you can also go onto my website and sign up for the newsletter because I will be informing you guys more about that on there. Thank you again for tuning into another video. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video and that you've learned a little something today. Okay, I'll catch y'all in the next video.
wherever he picked him up, I mean, I won't lie.